Hello again, everyone. This is Carolyn from Carolyn Star Products. We're going to do another video tonight. It's been a while, and I'm glad to be doing this video. As you know, I have a website, www.carolynstarproducts.com, with many articles and YouTube videos on tips for living a happy life. And my website would not be complete if I don't do a website on spiritual issues and modalities. So that is the topic for this video. We're going to discuss God, science, consciousness, mind, the universe, religion, and spiritual awakening. Science finds God. So there'll be a transcription of this video on my website for your review. And this video is for people who are on the spiritual path and who are searching for knowledge and awakening, and for those who are open to new ways of thought and belief. So I really hope you will enjoy this video, and I hope that this video will be of assistance to you on your spiritual path of enlightenment. Now this video will be a review of what I've learned and experienced on my spiritual path. So the topic for my video today is consciousness, God, science, mind, the universe, religion, and spiritual awakening. We are going to attempt to show the relationship between these beliefs and modalities, for there definitely is a very important relationship. Now, modern science has been desperate to discover the creation of the universe. And modern science has discovered that they cannot put God under a microscope. They are desperate to discover the smallest particle of life by smashing atoms together in a particle accelerator to find the creator of the universe. And when they do this, they are stepping into the realm of the invisible. For they are discovering the same invisible energies that the metaphysical masters of old, who lived in the mountains of Tibet and India, have known for thousands of years. And we all know that science refuses to acknowledge that there is a God. Science does not acknowledge God. What science refers to when they speak of the creator of the universe, which religion calls God, they refer to this force as dark matter, dark energy, the black hole, quantum vacuum, quantum field energy, superstring theory, zero-point energy, or the vacuum of space. What science calls dark matter and energy is what the metaphysical modalities call consciousness, and what religion calls God. All the same. For it is believed that that which is seen was created by that which is unseen. Now, I've always had a deep longing for universal and spiritual knowledge ever since I was 18 years of age. I had a deep yearning to know who created the universe, what God was, where he was. I wanted to know everything about the universe. And I wasn't happy with the knowledge I had at a very young age. So I went on a spiritual search starting at 18. I took a class in comparative religion in a local college in Los Angeles, California. I studied all religions from the beginning. Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Taoism, Taoism, Confucianism, and Shintoism. I compared all of the religions that I studied, took the positive teachings out of all of them, and applied them to my life. I later practiced meditation, attended spiritual seminars, became a metaphysical student, studied quantum physics and consciousness. I joined a metaphysical universal organization. And all of this gave me a much broader aspect on life and really opened up my mind to new and different ways of thinking. Now, all religions agree that God is omnipotent and omnipresent. Omnipotence means everywhere, all-encompassing. This means that there's nowhere, there's no place in the universe that God is not present. Wouldn't this mean that everything is God? I would say yes. I believe that every living thing is an individual expression of God. Science discovered consciousness in quantum field physics, which reveals the unity of all life in the quantum field of reality as being one gigantic energy field with no separation in the universe. Now that means that omnipresence of all living matter is connected to everything else in the universe, and that would mean that there is no separation. Science reveals that when one electron of energy is separated from another electron of energy and is sent to another part of the universe, what is done to the first electron is felt by the other electron, even if it is halfway across the universe. This reveals the connectedness of all things in the universe. This would mean that whatever is done to one electron is felt by the other electron. No matter how far apart they are still connected. Quantum waves are invisible energy units with the potential of becoming matter, but they are inert, pure energy until the wave is looked at by the mind, at which time it collapses into a particle of matter and finds its place in the material universe. Therefore, this energy potential became matter when it was observed by the mind. Quantum wave consciousness particle matter is what this implies. It is said that thoughts are things. This was how the material universe was created and is still being created in consciousness. Consciousness is mind. And consciousness is what science calls energy. First there's mind, then there's matter. This is the blueprint of all creation. And we are creating our reality with our minds, with whatever we are thinking. It has been said that thoughts are things. Consciousness being God thought the universe into existence. God being spiritual energy, consciousness, mind. Religion and science are referring to the same thing in a different language. Science proves that the universe was created and goes on to show how it was created with energy in the quantum field theory. Consciousness being God thought the universe into existence, and we as children of God are creating our own reality by the thoughts we are thinking in our minds. It is said in the Christian Bible that we were created in the image of God. Therefore, we are the children of God. As the children of God, we create our own reality by our thoughts. Would it be unreasonable to think that if our children inherit our attributes and genes, that we too would inherit the attributes of our Creator, Father God? The Bible states that all that I do, you can do also, even greater things than these. The Bible also states that the faith of a mustard seed shall move a mountain. The Bible also states that, didn't you know that ye are gods? I have found in my studies and observations that organized religion consists of corporate organizations with an agenda. They have been compromised and altered and changed over the thousands of years since their beginning. And because of this, religion has focused on finding God without, in the sky, in the universe, instead of within in meditation. Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within. When science observes a wave in a laboratory, it collapses into a particle of matter. The type of matter it collapses into will be determined by what kind of thought is in the mind of the observer. And we do this all the time by creating our own reality with our own thoughts. It has been said, as above, so below. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And this is the direction of the relationship to the quantum field theory of science of which I am referring to when I say that we create our own reality with our thoughts and our mind. God thought the universe into existence, and we are creating our own reality with our thoughts. Okay, now we're going to do a little analogy. Consciousness equals energy, equals mind, equals thought, equals the quantum wave, equals soul, and is eternal. And then there's the created universe, which is an electron, is a particle, is matter, is physical, is the body, has a limited lifespan. Everything and the universe is energy. God. All matter is just frozen energy. Energy is frozen into form. Consciousness never dies, it just changes form. Energy never dies. According to Einstein, it just changes form. It is stated in the Bible that God breathed the breath of life into man, and man became a living soul. The soul, being consciousness, never dies. Thus, when the physical body dies, the soul or consciousness goes to another place to exist. Christianity calls this heaven. The Hindus and the Buddhists called it higher dimensional states of life. Now, at this time, modern science has discovered 11 dimensions of reality, but they do not know what exists in those 11 dimensions of reality. Now, the Hindus and the Buddhists know exactly what exists in those dimensions, and they describe what exists in those higher dimensions in their scripture and text. The Hindu religion also believes and describes in great detail what life exists on other planets and worlds in the universe, in our galaxy. Now, there will come a time when science will catch up to religion, and they'll learn what kind of life exists in those higher dimensions of reality. Science and religion are coming together. What the religious and Hindu monks have known for thousands of years is being discovered by science today. What science calls quantum energy, Hindu monks call consciousness, and religion calls God. All religions believe that the universe is positive and good in nature, and the opposite of good is evil. To engage in negativity and evil, you are going against all that is good and natural in the universe. The cause and reason for all suffering is because you have gone against nature and the naturalness of things by choosing negative over good and by choosing evil over good, of which the consequences of that choice is suffering and pain. All your experiences in life are the direct result of your thinking. It's been said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Therefore, your thoughts are creating and manifesting your reality. Most people don't know this. The attributes of the universal God being positive and good, it is said that God is love. Therefore, the personality of God is love, joy, harmony, abundance, prosperity, health, peace, happiness, and all good things. When you live, think, and do these, you become one with God, just as did Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, and others. Now that we have determined that God is love and good, love represents all that is good. And we need to know how to apply this to our lives to bring happiness, abundance, and peace. We have determined that everything is energy, and energy is God, and God is love. And the energy of God is love. So we must get into the energy of love, the energy and the love vibration. We also have determined that you create your own reality with your thoughts and mind. Therefore, we must resolve to become more conscious and aware of what we are thinking and what vibrations we are radiating in our lives. Because thoughts mirror back to us what we are thinking. Feel love. Love has a frequency and a vibration. It makes you feel good. The feeling of love is your connection to God. Now remember what it feels like to be in love. This is the love frequency. Get into this feeling vibration. And while you are in this state of feeling vibration, then think of what it is you want to manifest in your life. And this will help manifest it in your world. Next, review and remember what it feels like to feel sorrow and hatred and sadness and fear and jealousy and illness and negative emotions. These have their own frequency signatures that create negativity and fear in your life. Remember, like attracts life, attracts like in reality. Go over these emotions as a test to see what it feels like to feel bad and powerless and fearful. And these feelings go on to create and to mirror the reflection of that frequency in your life. When you try these feelings and emotions, you try them so that you will know from experience what these feel like, and you will become aware, and then you will be able to take charge of your thinking and be in control of your thoughts, because you will then know how your thoughts will affect your life. Focus on what it is that you want in life until you become that energy signature, and you will attract that frequency because of what it represents. Now, this is the law of attraction in the universe, and it cannot fail. This is what the metaphysical teachers and gurus teach and demonstrate. This is what the New Age philosophers like Greg Braden, Wayne Dyer, and Deepak Chopra, among others, talk about in their books and their seminars. Get in the habit of practicing and knowing what it feels like. What does love feel like? What does wealth feel like? What does abundance feel like? What does success feel like? Ask yourself, what does it feel like to be wealthy? What does it feel like to have everything you could want when you want it? This feeling is what the frequency of wealth and abundance is all about. What does it feel like to be perfectly healthy? When you feel perfectly healthy, you feel great, you feel energetic, no pain, and you're not afraid anymore. That is the feeling and the frequency of a healthy body. Your body is capable of a complete healing when this frequency is maintained. So focus on the feeling of being healthy until you become healthy. What does it feel like to be in love? Remember a time when you were madly in love and what that felt like. Use that energy to attract a lover or a mate in your life. What does it feel like to be successful in business or your career? How happy does that feel? Well, you feel high in self-esteem, you feel proud of yourself, your friends and your relatives are proud of you, etc. Be detailed about how that feels. Get into the frequency of what it is that you want. Everything has a frequency and an energy signature. Energy is vibration, is frequency, is thought, is consciousness. Energy has a frequency and a vibration. Everything has its own specific frequency. People who are in love feel love all around them. They feel euphoric in attitude and feeling. People who are wealthy feel abundant and never give in to feelings of poverty or lack. They have a wealth consciousness attitude. People who are sick feel fearful and powerless and focus on illness. People who feel hate and violence feel powerless and have lost control and have low self-esteem, no sense of security. People who are lonely feel desperate and frightened. This list goes on and on. Everything has its own frequency and energy signature. So you should keep track of what you're thinking and feeling, and often correct yourself, because now you know that thoughts are things, and feelings and thoughts create your reality. Take charge of your life. Thoughts are things, so you create your own reality. So be aware of your thoughts and take charge of what you create. This is mind science, natural quantum physics mind science. It has been proven in the laboratory of science that mind is affected by thought. Now, mind science it is. The universe acts like it already exists when you think it. When you assume what you want is already in existence, the universe does not know that it does not exist. Because thoughts are things. Be specific and detailed about your thoughts and what you want. And use your feelings to visualize what it is that you want, not what you don't want, but what you want. You are using the law of attraction when you do this. The natural laws of quantum science when you do this. For science has proven in the laboratory that when a quantum electron is looked at by the mind, it collapses into matter because it has been observed by the mind. This is science. This is theoretical quantum science. Therefore, in your mind, you must be, not wish, no wishful thinking. You must be that which you want in your reality. Be that which you want in your thought and feeling. This attitude will tell the universe that you are serious and you're not lying to yourself. Then the universe will have to give you what you want because you have obeyed the law of attraction in quantum physics. You would have collapsed a quantum wave into a particle of matter after you have observed it by your mind. And that particle will have to manifest in the physical universe. Because this has been proven in science that the quantum mind is pure energy, and that once it is observed by the mind, it becomes a material body of matter and must manifest in the material universe. So what you need to practice doing is staying in the frequency of whatever it is that you want. Whether it's love, wealth, abundance, or health, success, prosperity, get into that frequency and stay in that frequency or meditate in that frequency as often as you can until you have manifested in your life what it is that you want. Until that manifestation has become a reality. This may take some time, It may be difficult at first, but it is well worth the effort when you see how your life will change for the better. For the universe is omnipotent and omnipresent, and its nature is to radiate unconditional love. And when you have trained your mind and practiced positive thinking long enough and have control over your thoughts, you will create positive mental habits that will become automatic. When your habits become automatic, you won't have to work at it anymore because it will become a part of your subconscious mind when it becomes automatic. So your good thinking will then be natural and easy. Then your life will take on a complete change for the better. And then you will be in tune with nature and the universe and God, and you will naturally create the reality that was intended for you to create since the beginning of time, which is a reality of joy and happiness and peace. Now, if we analyze this mind science, let's take an example. Let's do a study on rich people, wealthy rich people, and you will see how this works. You will find that when some people that are wealthy lose their money, if they are mentally programmed for health, you see they find ways to become wealthy again. They do not accept poverty, and they do not become poor. This is because they have maintained a subconscious wealthy consciousness attitude. And they have mentally programmed and conditioned themselves to wealth, which means they will always attract wealth into their lives naturally. That is an example of how the mind works when it's programmed properly. Think wealthy, become wealthy. Think poverty, and you are poor. Thoughts are things. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As above, so below. Now there is good in all religions. They teach the same message of love and universal peace and joy. But religions, why do they work against each other, promoting dispute and dogma and war and judgment and condemnation and creeds, all fighting against each other? Doesn't the one God love us all? Religion has been compromised and changed and altered in the 1,000 years since its beginning. So you must find the good in your religion and apply that to your life. Religion should be the answer, not the problem. Religion should encourage, uplift, inspire, bring happiness. love, and peace, not conflict, dissension, trauma, disempowerment, negativity, or slavery. I have found that the universal truth will truly set you free. So do not accept truth just because your father or his ancestor or the government or the minister says it is truth. Those who have done their own research instead of taking the word of others will be able to find real truth. It is said that condemnation without investigation is the root of all ignorance. So if you are not happy in your spiritual life, then maybe you should do your own search for enlightenment. For truth, when it is real, shall set you free. Finally, the creative life force is what science calls quantum energy, what metaphysics calls consciousness, and what religion calls God. All the same. And you don't have to travel across the galaxy or the universe to find God. You don't have to become a religious fanatic. You don't have to become a scientist. Just go within in meditation. You will find that God is omnipresent. Not in this place or that place or the sky, but everywhere. God being everywhere, omnipresent, why not go within in meditation? In my past, I've been a Christian, I've been a Buddhist, pardon the Tibetan Buddhism, I've studied Hinduism, and I love reading the works of Krishna and the Bhagavad Gita. But today, I don't feel the need of being a part of any religion. I have a personal relationship to God, the Creator, that works for me, and I do not criticize anyone else's religious beliefs. I believe that everyone has the right to choose how they relate to God in their own way, whatever religion or organization they choose that works for them. I honor their right to do so. And at the same time, I expect my right to choose my path to enlightenment must be honored. So for that reason, I'm not accepting any critical judgments to this writing. Because if you make any critical comments, I will delete them, because you're not honoring my right to choose my path to enlightenment. And I'm of the mind that whatever works for the individual is good. And I have left some links at the end of this video to the people that have been my mentors and have led to my enlightenment that may be of interest to you. And for those who are on the metaphysical path, are students of metaphysics, I do recommend the Rosicrucian Order, AMOC, which in my opinion is the best organization for for schooling in metaphysics. Also, I recommend that you do a search, Google search and a YouTube search for Nassim Haramein, who is a theoretical physicist that also believes in God the Creator, and he has been brilliant in bringing the two modalities together in his theories. He has brought science together with God, so he would be his tapes and videos are excellent for those on the search. Also, I recommend David Wilcox, who's also been very successful in bringing the two modalities together. And those who are interested in Hinduism and Krishna, I find that the Dharma Nation is a very good organization, and I've left some links to that. Links to videos on that modality, which you'll find very enlightening. I also find that Mooji, M-O-O-J-I, and Bashar give some very, very good information for people on the path to enlightenment. So I've left some links for that too. So I will wish everyone a prosperous, happy, and a joyous and a blissful life. And I wish all of those who are on the path for enlightenment will find what it is they are searching for. So thank you again for listening and visiting me on my latest video. I have other videos on my website, Tips for Living a Happy Life at CarolynStarProducts.com. So please visit my website. I have other articles and YouTube videos on keeping love alive in your marriage, pet health, getting rid of arthritis, overcoming diabetes, healing foods, great ideas for work-at-home businesses, benefits of essential oils, getting rid of depression in 30 minutes, herbs that heal, how to get rid of sugar cravings, natural remedies to help you sleep better, and great products and e-books. So visit my website soon, and thank you for joining me, and I hope you have enjoyed this video, and have a good